Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Posted about the Land Rover behind me here on my Instagram story and got loads of questions about it and a lot of comments for people wanting to see the progress as we go along on this journey. So still to be named. We've had a couple of really cracking suggestions, but still to be named. We have our 2001 Land Rover Defender 110 station wagon. I've always wanted a Defender. Our plan is to convert this into a camper van, so my wife and I can just travel about and go off grid a little bit and camp, and not be dependent. Ooh, there's a bee. I really don't like bees. Not be dependent on having to find campsites and things like that. So I'm going to do a quick walk around. We got it into the workshop yesterday, and I might have some footage of that. We stripped it out. We got all the seats out. I just put the driver's seat back in to take it out for a bit of a spin. But we're going to do a full deep clean, and then I'll chat through some of the things that we're going to do throughout the duration of the build. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. So, here she is, or he, still to be named. So yesterday we got all the seats out. There's a partition here that isn't original. The last owner put that in so that he could have the crew cab in the back separate. What I'm doing at the moment is just removing I've already started, but removing any adhesives, just any grease and dirt that has gotten down in here. So that's part of today's job. I want to get the dash off next. The bulkhead looks in, like if we go around here, the bulkhead looks in pretty good nick. There's some minor bubbling, some surface rust along the way. These caps have obviously kind of rusted through. The windscreen, there's quite a bit of bubbling along the frame of the windscreen, which I'm sure you can see there. But I'm really happy with the bulkhead. But I just want to be safe. So I'm going to take, one of the next steps will be, let's get this dash off. And have a really good look at the back of the bulkhead there. I can't lift this side up. From the other side, I can see there's rust in the floor already. Since I've got it, it's leaking in the rain. So we'll need to either get it inside or get a cover for it. So doors wise, kind of looking out for the usual things. The last owner of this was a mechanic, and engine seems to be ticking over really well, and the chassis has been rust proof. There's a new rear quarter chassis on it. Don't know if you can see there. So new rear quarter chassis, about 2 years old, but everything has been rust proofed, treated, stone chip guard paint on the chassis and all of the components down there. Same on the doors, the rubberized paint. So looks pretty good on the most part, but again I can see some bubbling down there, so we want to have a look at those door frames. We'll get the door cards off at some stage and have a look at that. To turn this into a van, they took out the windows and put in just an aluminium sheet and just spread it over the body colour of the car. So we're going to take those out. We're going to get gull wing windows. So I'm looking at front runner ones at the moment, but if anybody has any suggestions on good gull wing windows, then do let me know. Something that is fairly handy and convenient. Like, we've still got the frames here, so it'll be a straight to kind of take out, swap in kind of job. Used to be a maintenance truck, so you've got the rear chevrons, so they're going to have to come off. I'll show you the back in a minute, but side's really good. Like for being 18 years old, nearly 19, I'm really happy with the quality of the vehicle. Like the floors are in really good nick. The C pillar here isn't in super nick, so we'll need to get this plate off, just really assess any of the erosion in there, and then we'll get something fabricated, or we'll just order a part and maybe kind of cut it about here, and we'll weld that down. We'll see what we need to do first. And then over on the driver's side, so again, I'm just cleaning at the minute. Again, kind of on the B pillar here, there's some rust there, so we'll want to, I think it's just surface rust, but we'll want to make sure we check that out. Again, a little bit on the A pillar here, but further on down seems to be in really good nick. And then just, you can see here we've got some surface rust going on there in the footwell, so we'll just want to check all of that out. Initial project is just getting it really stripped back. All the carpets are coming off, so the seat boxes seem to be in really good nick as well. And then, as I said, I can see some rust in there, so I wanna check all that out. At the back of the bulkhead here, it hasn't started bubbling through, so that's a good sign. But again, we want to get that checked out. And we'll get under the vents and make sure this windscreen seal is definitely going to need changed. All the seals are going to need changed at some point, because it's already letting in water, and we want to stop that. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look under the hood. So here is our TD5 engine. I am by no means a mechanic, so my first port of call, because I don't know the full history of the vehicle. I know the last guy was a mechanic, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot in terms of what sort of things we might find under here. It does look decent. There's a little bit of surface rust on the chassis down there that we'll want to address as well. I can see kind of at the top of the footwell there where the clutch is going in, we'll want to look at that. But in terms of it sounds really good when it's running. I'm gonna get a full service done on it by somebody else, so that they can give it a really thorough run through, and make sure that there's nothing massively wrong with it, and then they'll be able to give me a directive on these are the things you need to do, and then maybe kind of give recommendations of what they would do first. There's a little bit of leaking from the bottom of the engine, so I don't know whether it's maybe the seal on the sump or what it is, but there's oil dripping, not a lot, but enough to make me want to check what's going on down there. Just took the door cards off, and like I am getting more and more impressed with the guy that owned this vehicle before I did. He weatherproofed inside the door, in between the door card and the door frame. I think that's going to save me a lot of hassle, because let's have a look and see how well preserved the door is. Leave that on for now. Okay, so this in here, like that's That's quite rusty. But the good thing about that is that those pieces, you know, we can just order replacement parts for that. We'll not need to cut anything out, and like the paint. Can we clean this panel up a bit? So I don't know if you can see, but there's no real bubbling on this panel. There's a little bit here. You can see that there. There's a little bit of bubbling there and there. So we're gonna change the colour of the van anyway. So that's not a big issue. We'll just sand that back when we're sanding everything else back. But I mean, like, this bottom here, like, I mean, it's rusty, but we got something to poke it with. I had a screwdriver a second ago. Here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna need to. It's pretty solid. My screwdriver went through there, but the rest of it seems pretty strong. So we might actually get away with sanding that all out. If we'll take the skins off at some point, and like, we'll just give the doors a really good go through. I want to have a look at this. I want to get this off, because this door keeps locking itself, and then you can't open it from here. So we'll need to address that. But I'm actually quite happy. Like, you kind of look at that and you think that's a lot of rust, but that's just a piece we can order. We don't have to do any cutting, any welding. Everything else is really solid. So I'm really happy about that. So again, what's he done here? Okay, so he's put another protective coating around this. Another aluminium skin around here. So I wanna pull that back and see, you know, why has he done that? Is he hiding something? I hope he's not. But I think the fact that, you know, there's waterproof, you know, quite a thick plastic waterproofing, has probably, I don't think he's done anything with these doors. I think he's just covered them. He's put the rubberized paint on it to stop any stone chips or any water getting in. He's added an extra seal down here. But I really think he's kind of just looked at this door, done what he could without having to do any welding, and he's just protected it. So that's gonna help me through this process. So we'll keep the door cards. We'll keep the door cards off for. Well, actually, no, we'll put them back on, because just in case any water does get in, the seal at the top of the door card. And these door cards are, like, they're in really good nick. So we'll paint, well, you see that's just from scraping going in and out, but yeah, I don't think that's, I don't guess. Let's see what's that like in there. That's part of the door frame. Yeah, we'll need to. Yeah, we'll get the rest. We'll get the rest of this off. We'll take the skins off, and maybe we'll just sand down and see what everything looks like. We'll bring everything back to bare metal, and take it from there. So that's going to be another episode. So you can stay posted for that. So all of the seats are in the back at the moment. Yeah, yeah, I'm not using my own workshop. I'm a family member has very kindly offered the use of theirs and keeping the Defender in their yard. So I want to be conscious not to leave everything kind of lying around. So these are in here for now. Once we get everything tidied up, we'll put them back in. This came with 6 seats, and what I'm really feeling is that I'm gonna just do 4 seats. So we'll have 2 at driver's side, 2 at the driver's side, 2 at the passenger side. Take out the middle seats in both the front and the back row, and then either put a cubby box or a fridge in the front row, or have a cubby box there and have a larger fridge on a sliding rail that can go from the middle, that can be pushed up into the middle when, you know, either when we're driving with people and we want to keep drinks and stuff in there, or just to push it out of the way when we're using the back of the camper as well. You can see the partition that was put in. It's been kind of tack welded in parts, just where that main beam is resting there, but it's silicone the rest of the way around, so we'll be able to cut that out fairly easily, and then, you know, that'll really open up the space and give us a lot more room to work with. Again, just on the doors, back door here, the door cards really aren't on all that well, but I can kind of see down, and let's take this out. Like the doors seem in pretty good nick, without taking everything off there. Just some surface rust. I was really happy that hang on, let's turn this. So yeah, I was really happy when I went to see the van that he had swapped out the original locking system for a central locking system, and there is an immobilizer in it, and security wise in the back we've got these on the side windows and also the main window. Obviously Defenders are notorious, look at my hair, shocking, they're notorious for being stolen for their parts, because you can just grab a spanner or an impact driver and get everything apart and, you know, sell it for breaking. So I'm going to add a few more security measures here. I'll not say too much on this, because if somebody sees it then that defeats the purpose, but definitely a tracker that'll be somewhere in the vehicle, and kind of steering wheel locks, pedal locks. So again, if there's any recommendations on any of those things, I'd really appreciate that, and we can make our new baby as safe and as secure as possible. That kind of wraps everything up for this this initial episode. There'll hopefully be a lot more content coming over the next couple of weeks, and we'll really push to get this in some way ready to have a couple of trips in the middle of the summer. Obviously there's a lot of lockdown restrictions still at the moment, so it would be really great if we could, you know, get out towards the end of the summer for a few days here and there. Later on down the line, on the roof, we're going to take this off, and we're going to put on an Alucab Icarus roof tent. I don't know if you heard that, but that's a donkey. He thinks it's a great idea too. But Alucab Icarus roof tent on the top here. So we'll take the existing roof off, and we'll add on the Alucab. It adds about 180 mil of roof height, so it gives you a little bit more headroom in it, and then it's a really nice camper conversion at the end. But that's later on in the project. They're quite pricey, so we're going to have to save our pennies for a little while before we can actually get that. But like, I'll keep I'll keep you guys posted on the process and the progress that we make. But yeah, until next time, be good.